Hey guys, I'm going to help you out with Lesson 9's homework. And let's go ahead and start off with number 1. It says, express the lengths of the shaded parts in decimal form. Write a sentence that compares the two lengths. Use the expression shorter than or longer than in your sentence. So in this first one, if we count the tenths, we have 4, 5, 6. And then if we count the hundredths, it looks like we have 8. So it would be 0.68 for this first one. In the second one, we just have tenths. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths, so it would be 0.7. Now, it looks like 0.68 if you just look at the numbers is bigger because it looks like 68 and this is 7, but really when you look at the lengths, 0.68 is shorter than 0.7 because if you compare just the tenths, the second one has 7 tenths and the first one only has 6 tenths. So technically 0.68 is shorter, sorry I put an H there, shorter than 0.7. Okay, on this second one, we need to count the tenths. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths. So that's just going to be 0.5. And here we have tenths and hundredths. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths. And then it looks like 4 hundredths. So I'm going to say 0.44. Again, 44 looks bigger than 5, but that's not what we're comparing. The first one has 5 tenths, which makes it bigger than the 4 tenths. So 0.5 is longer than 0.44, or 5 tenths is longer than 44 hundredths. Okay, the next one says list all the lengths from least to greatest. So the smallest one, if you look at all the meter sticks, is 0.44. Then you'd have 0.5. The next biggest would be 0.68. And the largest would be 0.7. Again, you need to compare the tenth spot. So just because it looks like 68 and 44 doesn't mean it's bigger. Okay, on number 2, it says examine the mass of each item shown below on the 1 kilogram scales. Put an X over the items that are heavier than the volleyball. Where the volleyball is 0.25 kilograms, so the baseball is not bigger than it. But the basketball looks bigger than it because it's 0.62, so we'll put an X over 0.62. And we'll also put an X over the soccer ball because it's 0.43. So it's going to be bigger. 0.62 and 0.43 are going to be bigger than 0.25. And I can prove that on this chart where if I put all of their masses together so you could compare them, the baseball has 0 ones, 1 tenth, and 5 hundredths. The volleyball has 0 ones, 2 tenths, and 5 hundredths. Well, automatically it's bigger than the baseball because it has 2 tenths and the baseball has 1. The basketball has 6 tenths and 2 hundredths, and the soccer ball has 4 tenths and 3 hundredths. It says complete the statements below using the word heavier or lighter than your statements. The soccer ball is blank the baseball. Well, if you look at the soccer ball, it has 4 tenths and the baseball has only 1 tenth, so that makes the soccer ball heavier than the baseball because it has a bigger mass. And it says the volleyball is blank the basketball. Well, the volleyball has 2 tenths and the basketball has 6 tenths. So that automatically makes the volleyball lighter than the basketball because 0.62 is bigger than 0.25. So it's less. All right, let's look at the last section. We're going to be dealing with some graduated cylinders here. It says record the volume of water in each graduated cylinder on the place value chart below. So we'll start off with cylinder A. Cylinder A has 0 ones and 7 tenths and no hundredths, so I'm just going to put 0.7. Cylinder B has 0 ones, 6 tenths, and 2 hundredths. C has 2 tenths and 8 hundredths. D has 4 tenths and no hundredths, so we're just going to put 0.4. E has 8 tenths and 5 hundredths, and F has 2 tenths. So now we have to compare them. So we're going to start off with A, 0.4 liters to 0.2. Well, one of them has 4 tenths and the other one has 2 tenths, so 4 tenths is going to be bigger. On the next one, though, 0.62 and 0.7, 0.62 has 6 tenths and 0.7 has 7 tenths. So even though 62 looks bigger than 7, you have to compare the tenths. On part C of 0.2 and 0.28, well, they both have 2 tenths, but the other one has 8 hundredths in addition to it, so that's going to make it bigger. All right, and the last one, it says write the volume of water in each graduated cylinder in order from least to greatest. So we're going to start with the smallest, and I'm going to cross them off the chart as I go. So the smallest value would be 0.2 because it has 2 tenths, so I'm going to cross that off. The next one also has 2 tenths, but in addition it has 8 hundredths. So I'm going to say 0.28. Cross that off the list. The next smallest would be 0.4 because it has the next least number of tenths, so it would be 0.4. The next would be 0.62 because it has 6 tenths. The next would be 0.7 because it has 7 tenths. And then the last one would be 0.85 because it has 8 tenths and 5 hundredths. All right, if you have questions, let me know.